What's up, everyone? My name is Jimmy Allison. I'm an Ableton Live certified trainer. I teach one-on-one lessons online. In this video, I want to get into the drum bus. It's the new Ableton Live drum processing effect. So I have this little doodle of a track that I've been working on. And basically I have like 3 layers of drums that kind of work together as one. But I'm going to focus on this kit right here. It's got some crunch to it, it's got some life to it, but let's see what we can do with drum bus. First thing, we'll just go ahead and just drop it on the rack, turn it on. So out of the box, it's already set up to give it some crunch and some character. You'll notice the drive is turned up to about 20%. So the drive is one stage of the distortion. And basically what a drive does is pushes the signal harder into the input chain. So let's check it out when we turn it up. So it gets nice and crunchy. Let's just hear that with my other drums. Okay, that's kind of interesting, I like. So let's bring the drive back down a little bit and let's talk about the crunch. It's another distortion. And basically the crunch adds distortion to the mids and highs of the drum set. So it makes it a little more lively, almost kind of like an exciter in some ways. And if you combine that with the drive, you can get it pretty nasty. And now down on the below drive, you see soft, medium, hard. Basically, that changes the types of distortions that are used on the input signal. So let's drive it a little harder so we can really hear it. There we go. And basically it goes, the soft is a wave shaping distortion, the medium is a limiting distortion, and the hard is a clipping distortion. And then below that you have your trim, and just like any trim on any mixer, it's going to adjust the input level of the incoming signal. And then if you got a 1-button compressor, no adjustments, just on and off, and it applies the compression to the input signal. Pre-distortion, actually. And now one of my favorite knobs on the drum bus is transients. Basically, it tones down the transients in the mid-high frequencies if you turn it down, and it increases them if you turn it up, which can really help you shape a sound. And also, like, you got this really banging part going, and then you can pull back to just the bass transients there. It's also a good way to clean up reverb if you turn down the transient knob. So if you're using like a drum loop that has a lot of reverb on it, you can tone that back a little bit and clean it up. Some tricks I do in other ways, but this is also nice to have on just a knob on the drum bus. Now boom is really cool. It'll basically enhance the low frequencies, adds a bass line. And then you can, of course, adjust that with the frequency knob. And you'll notice down here next to the little headphone solo button, you'll see the note. So you can turn the frequency and tell you relatively what note it is. And when you get close, you just click it, and it'll snap it to the exact note frequency it's supposed to be. So like say I wanted to tune this to my song. Looks like I'm in G on this tune. So let's switch this guy around. We're going to turn it down to G. Push the button to zero it in. So now if I bring in those basses, it should be pretty much in tune, at least for the first note. Instantly have a nice little bass note tuned to the kick drum. And you can also like tone it back So it's just kind of the kick drum. It's like a good way to tune the kick drum. So there's a lot of really cool creative ways you can use that. You can even hit the little headphone button down here to solo it out. Now you just have the boom. A little bit of the other frequencies, but... And then, of course, you have a decay, which will help you adjust the decay rate of the boom frequency. So let's bring that back into the mix, or at least into the drum mix. So if you want it really boomy, but you don't want it to, you want to shorten the decay, you just bring that decay down. And let's hear that actually with everything. Yeah, that pretty much covers the drum bus. But one thing I have to say, it's called drum bus, but you can use it on anything. So let's just drag it over to my bass lines. In fact, let's bust my bass lines together. I'm just going to group them. And I kind of dig that. So I'll just copy this, paste it over into my bass group. And let's see what we can do over here with it. I mean, look at that. Let's hear that in the mix, actually. That's kind of neat. A little too much, right? Let's soften that up. Pull the drive back. Let's get rid of the boom because that's kind of silly. And if you'll notice what I did there, I wanted to reset this to default. If I just double click that little blue triangle, boom, back to default. You can also, like in this one, it doesn't have a little blue triangle. I can actually select the knob and then hit delete on the keyboard. And that will also return it to default. As an example, let's turn all the way down, hit delete, boom, back to default. Let's hear that soloed. It's probably just kind of boosting the signal a little bit. I don't know. Leave it on there. And another thing, of course, let's go and bust all my drums together. And let's drop a drum bus on the drum bus. Solo out the drum bus. Kind of glue these three pieces together. Let's hear that in the mix. Sounds pretty cool. Let's A/B that real quick. Let's hear the other parts. A little crunchy on this other part, so I'd probably have to split it out because this particular clip, the kick drums are hitting harder than this clip. Little much there, so let's kind of just tone this bad boy back a little bit here for now. Anyway, that's about it. My name is Jimmy Allison. I'm an Ableton Live certified trainer. I teach one-on-one lessons online. Check out my website, austinabletontutor.com, if you want to book a session or just check out more stuff. Thanks, guys. Bye.